All right. Welcome everybody to Talk That Talk. We have the unfiltered, unscripted, uncomfortable conversation about band, HBCU, band culture, music education, and more. Remember, as long as you're watching the Passionate Network, you can go ahead and click anything on our store. You can get 30% off your purchase. Just type in HBCU band. Also, don't forget to click like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Now, I'm going to say this. Mike Vick is the new head coach at Norfolk State. So this is why I decided to go ahead and wear my Norfolk hoodie. I wanted to make sure that I represented for the school. Now, I'm just be honest. You know, I'm a poor struggling band director, so I ain't gave back to the Alumni Association. My bad. I'm just gonna be honest. But I still support the school. Yeah. There we go. I said it. All right. What's up, Portia? Sorry.
Hey, it's a good day.
Yeah.
It's a great time to be a Spartan. I think this is going to be awesome for our program. Um, Lots of opportunity. So we can only go up from here. So
That was probably about the most political response.
that's genuinely how I feel, though. We can't get any worse.
That's fair. That's fair. So I put up a post today that said, "All right, Mike Vick is the new head coach. That's dope. That's great. Let's move past that. What these band funds talking about? What's up with these band funds? Are we gonna up some people's pay? We're gonna add some positions to the band staff? You know, I'm just asking." And somebody said that I'm asking a little too much. My response to them was, we've seen a blueprint at Jackson. Because I'm sorry, the band itself was not as big. Don't get me wrong. I think Jackson has always been a popular band. But it was not as big globally the way it is now when Prime was there and was actually, pushing the culture of band. So that's why I say I got a lot of faith in the Legion getting some money and some more
You
visibility.
didn't hear our new name is the Marching 500.
Yeah, okay. So I was gonna skip that. I was actually okay. Let me be honest. I was gonna put that up as a talking point today, but then I said, you know what? I'm not gonna do that. And then I said I'm not gonna talk about it. But then you ended up listen, ladies and gentlemen. All right. As a person who tries to report news and all that kind of stuff and the stuff that happens on a daily basis, do your homework before you get up here, right? Like, I know everybody's going to be open to doing, giving their opinions and so on and so forth. That's perfectly fine. But do a little research before you pop a camera, you put a mic on, so on and so forth. And I say that because who was this dude?
I don't know, but I just feel like if you're going to do a broadcast, you check the information.
Right.
Um,
Or
but
or you
or
just
you just
admit,
say they have
yes.
a renowned marching band.
There you go. Or and leave it at that. Leave it
Leave
at
it
that.
at that,
You admit that
but
you don't know what their name is, so you just be like, man, I hear the marching band is amazing. Boom, you covered all bases.
very accomplished,
Yes.
something known. I don't
Who
know.
who is the marching 500?
I don't know. And then a couple of people try to justify, well, the movie 300. Okay, 300 and 500 are not the same thing, and that's
No,
still not our name. But
no.
it's publicity. As far as what you said about the marching band, I don't know. All of those things that you named would be awesome. I don't know that I expect any of them. I do think that we'll probably be given or be offered the funds to travel more.
Hey, small
So
success.
I'll take that.
Yeah, I'm about to say small success, right? Now, will you really take that? Because I know by game 3 you be burnt already. So more traveling.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Like I said, it's not a secret. I've started my countdown, so this won't affect me, but for so long.
Man, okay. All right. Well, we got a few topics today, and we are definitely going to get into it. But what I will definitely say is what we're going to do today also is we're going to open it up for Q&A. So any new subscribers that we have, any people who have been in the comment section on LBR, anything like that, you are more than welcome to come up in here. Yeah, we talking about Vic, but you are more than welcome to come in here and have the conversation. I'm going to put the link at the top of the chat so that you guys can come in and link in. Also, if you want any of your questions or comments read right here on the page as we're going through it, you can go ahead and hit the super chat, man, and we will go ahead and read it right up here without any thoughts, any problems, any questions, and we will answer any questions that you have. And I mean anything. Now, there are some, I know, I have to be fair, that will be tailored by some folks very justly. But I know that I'm going to give all of my information that I can possibly give. So, and she will too. She will too. With yeah. So I'm not gonna say that she's gonna lie about anything.
No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm
Yeah,
just gonna
yeah,
find a nicer way to say it.
yeah. So any questions that you have, go ahead and hit the super chat. Or if you want to come in, I'm going to put the link at the top of the chat once we get to the first topic.
Yeah,
So
I'm sorry. It is final with him. He released a statement acknowledging that he's accepted the head coaching role. So it's a thing.
there it is. There you have it. So I actually want to jump into this first topic. To me, this topic is actually going to be an easy one, mainly because of the fact that this was something that I discussed on LBR, but I do want to be able to get your thoughts on it and also get the people's thoughts live. So again, if you want to jump in, Q&A, I'm going to make sure I put the link in. And also, if you want to have your comments read or your thoughts read so we can answer those questions, also make sure that you put in the super chat. So here it goes. And I got to make sure I tag that out. Boom. There we go. So if you did not see this, and Portia, I don't know if you saw this. This here is from Ohio State University. And basically what they have done is they have outlined every single dollar that anybody will spend when they hire the band to perform. My response was that every single HBCU needs to have this documentation live on their page. Now, see, ladies and gentlemen, she ain't read it. So we about to go through it because I'm gonna break this thing down. I have fun breaking this down. So here we go. So they talk about everything, the size, the uniform, like if you want a windsuit or if you want blah, 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 the music that they'll play. Now, the biggest portion for me was the appearance fees. All right. So here we go. Appearance fees starts 0 to 30 minutes, right? So the performance length up to 30 minutes. If the band is traveling one way, now remember, this is one way. For the small pep band with that equals 20 to 30 students up front, you got to pay $2,000 and the cost of transportation. Now remember, that's one way. All right. Now, if you get the full band, and that is by the discretion of the band director, it's $20,000 plus the cost of transportation. Every extra 30 miles, they add on $500 to the cost. So if you have the small pep band, 2,500, 20, so on and so forth, right? So then if you're asking them to perform for an hour, then the price obviously goes up by $5,000. If you get the full band, $500. If you get the small pep band. I've already given my thoughts on this. Portia, I want to know, what are your thoughts on this?
Absolutely agree with this. I mean, because I don't care what size band it is, it costs something to move them. Even if we taking a small portion of the Legion down the street to here recently, it's been like casino openings or building openings or whatever. You have to, travel, and we do have some Norfolk State buses, but we don't have enough to go really outside of the 757. So most of the time, we're chartering buses, which is very expensive. And then, but even if you're going up the street, you need to have water, you need to have Gatorade. You know what I'm saying? You're going to, it doesn't, you don't move a pep band, you don't move anything without it costing something. So I absolutely agree with this. And I mean, depending that uniform cost, that's a real thing because every so often you have to get them clean. So if we say every 3 performances we get them clean and you want us to do an additional performance, then that cost. And why should we be incurring the cost? And we said it on this show a lot. We go to these battle of the bands, they give you $10,000. Well, for a band of 200 plus people, well, this day and age, I don't care what size your band is, $10,000 is not a lot of money when you're talking about university costs, university fees. $10,000 is not a lot of money. So I absolutely agree with this. I think we should all do it. I think what I'm gonna be honest here a moment. The problem would be is that everybody wouldn't do this. We can't come together and make corporate or collective decisions. So it would be somebody who wouldn't do this, or a certain group of people who would not do this. And then, they wouldn't take it serious, which whatever, because not trying to be funny, they would fold anyway if it was certain programs. Because if you don't have those certain programs, your event won't be legitimate, which is why we saw some of what we saw. Never mind. Stay on topic.
We moving in that direction. We moving in that direction. And it's funny that you said that, right? Because when I did the LBR on this, the first thing that I said was it'd be dope if everybody participated in this, right?
Absolutely.
Like, half of the problem that we have right now is the fact that because someone won't, somebody else will.
Absolutely.
But what if we literally said, all right, everybody's going to put a standard on it? So then now promoters, all these people are thinking to themselves like, all right, well, now I got to make a decision. We got to move a little bit better. But one of the other thoughts that I had was this is probably the reason why you also don't see a lot of PWIs in multiple performances like you see us.
Absolutely, because they're not going to do it for the peanuts we do it for.
So basically you saying we slutting ourselves out.
We already talked about it's a pimp game. We said that. Yeah, it's a pimp game. We're being pimped out by the university that wants us to go do these free gigs that don't have nothing to do with the university. If it's outside this campus, you want us traipsing all over the city for free 99. That's craziness. We go into these battle of the bands, and I mean, some of it is due to you don't have any other choice. Like I've said on this show plenty of times, like the MEAC is a special conference, is how I'll say that. And so if we want to be, seen outside of YouTube or at these bigger stages, we have to travel. So we really don't have a choice.
I mean, but do we not have a choice though?
I'm speaking about specifically Norfolk State University.
Fair. Okay. That's fair. That's fair.
I mean, with the conference that we're in, the if we want to, be legitimate in people's eyes, they want to see us up against people, the big boys, we have to travel to do that. So if we don't do that, then it's not real exciting. And who wants to be a part of something that's not exciting? So, I mean, some schools are just in those positions. I do think that there should be standards, though. I don't think we should be accepting anything. I think a lot of times we accept anything, not just from these outside entities, from our school.
So when I looked at this, and I want you to correct me if I'm wrong. When I looked at this as, so let's say we do an hour performance, and it's, I mean, a lot of these joints be far in a lot of the performances that we do. Let's say more than 120 more. It says contact the band office for that one. So that means you're going to be paying some real money. But let's just say it's the distance of 91 to 120 miles, right? Full band, $25,000 one way, cost of transport plus cost of transportation. The way that I looked at it was, if we are not stepping or putting a toe outside the band room until that money is paid.
Absolutely
When we
cleared.
get there and do said performance, if you want to pay us for whatever, that performance is, you do that. But we need that bread up front before we go and do one of your little showcase battle of the bands. That's the way I looked at it. Am I looking
Absolutely.
at it wrong?
No, it's my time. Our time is money. We're the product. And if you want us to come, we're not incurring any of the costs. And not only are we not incurring the majority of the costs, you're going to cover the costs and we're going to benefit from doing whatever your event is. Because clearly we're a draw if you're even considering paying these prices for us to be there.
Exactly.
So I think it's ingenious.
Yeah. I definitely said HBCUs, we need to definitely throw this on all of our sites. Like, I know
Absolutely.
I know it's some HBCU band sites that ain't been updated since 1982, but still, we need to find a way to update this joint and put that on our band sites. Because in my opinion, this is definitely needed, specifically for the fact that and I know you said it, and I know we said it multiple times on this show, because so many times when it comes to these battles, when it comes to these showcases, what I call them showcases, because unless you win, it's not necessarily a battle. But
Right.
when it comes to all of these things, we be getting pimped. It'd be like, I figure out a way to get here. Then we figure out a way to get there. Then you give me a $50,000 check, but a lot of the $50,000 check has to go to the expenses that we use to get there anyway. So we don't really come home really in the black. We
You have
really
to
come home in
think
the red.
about it's what it costs to get there. But you also have to look at, you don't know the level of support that these universities are providing to these programs.
Mm.
They may need that money for other things. Like, so, sometimes it's like you just making back what you spent, but are you really making it back? Because now you still need this, or that, you know? So I just think, and it has become such big business that I think we need to alter how we deal with them. We need to be negotiating because we're the product. We are the product. You do not have a battle of the bands, a showcase, or whatever if we don't agree to do it. And see, we have more power than we're willing to come together and utilize.
Say it.
I agree.
Because if what is it, 20 something HBCU college bands, even if the majority, 10, 15 said, this is what we're going to get together and we're going to standardize this. Grant you, there may be some fluctuation in prices because it takes a different amount of money to move a 100-piece band versus a
Versus,
200-piece band
yeah,
versus a 300-piece band,
right.
But streamlining this thing, how we're going to break this down, what prices are going to be like, and how often we want to revisit it. Because I'm sorry, have you went to the grocery store? Everything costs more now. So as prices go up, our price should go up.
That Golden Corral trip is a lot different these days.
Let me tell you something. Everything is more expensive. And I just think that if we're going to be the draw and they're going to make hundreds of thousands, millions, whatever they're making off of us, we need to be seeing a substantial amount of that money.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we will have to come together to do that, and we can't seem to do that for
One of
some
the
reason. All
one of the
these
things. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say one of the things that I like about this is this part right here. Drum major only performances charged 300 plus any applicable transportation costs.
If you want us there, it's going to cost you money.
If you want us to come in and hit a back bend at your grocery store event, hit
You
me with
want
that
us to
300.
walk the mayor into this or that, it costs you money. And this is not, we're not picking and choosing. This is for everybody because it costs us to move every single time. And I just think that they got the right idea. I completely agree with this because they're probably tired of It cost us $60,000 to get there. Even if you're giving me $50,000, $40,000, I'm still in the hole when I leave here.
Yep. Yep. And that's exactly.
What you've benefited from this income, I'm putting back money. I'm still losing money. And you've walked away with a profit. You profited. We haven't.
My sister.
And you can say things like, oh, you got recruits. Well, they're not helping me or my accounts this year. Your check cleared now. You got your funds now after you paid whoever you needed to pay. I just think we need to be more vocal, have standards, and stick to them.
Amen.
So I don't disagree with nothing that you absolutely said. 100%. Good Lord, did that thing cut off? Anyway, but I don't disagree with anything that you said. Dang, I was gonna say something, but don't worry about it. We're gonna move on to the next topic though, because the next topic is gonna be a little bit longer and long-winded, and I think my sister got a lot more to say. But as we get ready to move on to the next topic though, what I will say is, again, the link is inside or pinned to the top of the chat if you want to come in and have any Q&A questions about anything that I have said, Portia has said, or about any of the topics. Also, if you want us to read any of your joints up here, all you got to do is hit us with the super chat and we will read it right here. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get to the fun topic, the topic that you all have been waiting for. So let's jump right into it. It is over. Yes, it is over. And I'm glad. I'm kind of glad it's over. A lot of conversation and commotion, feelings, so on and so forth. Again, I do want to say congratulations to Fam and congratulations to Miles. I definitely did a video or LBR talking about Prof. Snipes and his thoughts about why they performed and why it was special for them. And so I thought that was super dope. But I do want to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and put my thoughts out there first, just to kind of kick it off, because I didn't put my thoughts out there. I kind of said it and I backed off. Here's my thoughts. Again, congratulations to Fam. Congratulations to Miles. I honestly thought that A&T should have won. That's just me. That's me. I'm going to justify my statement by saying this. I kind of felt like there was a lot of sloppiness in some of Fam's drill. The level of cleanliness wasn't 100% there. I thought it was a creative drill. I thought it was cool, but there also wasn't any highs or lows. It just kind of was there. It was there. Like, it was good sound, good music, not taking away from the quality of sound, anything like that. Definitely not doing that. But there were no big moments. And so for me, I was like, this is nice. Whereas I felt from a drill perspective, A&T's drill was a lot cleaner. I enjoyed the way that they used their color guard within the drill. I thought all of that, I'm sorry, I apologize. Please forgive me. Please, I'm sorry. I apologize. I will never do that again. I hope I won't. I appreciate how they used the all-purpose girls within the drill. And I thought that for me, from a drill perspective, it was great. I'm not going to say great. It was better than Fam's. I think where we have the bigger issue is the fact that because, and this is one of the things that we talked about, because of the fact that A&T has the all-purpose girls and Fam has their flag squad, but that's basically it. There was a stop in the drill because they had to feature the all-purpose girls as they did with their flags, and then they had to feature the all-purpose girls as dancers. And so that cut A&T's drill short, whereas Fam had more room to drill because they did not have the other auxiliary pieces to showcase, so they had more room to be able to drill. That was my take. Now, I already know a lot of the other things that did happen. Somebody sent me the video of the cymbal player and A&T's band. Like, I seen all of that. Like, I saw it. I giggled a little bit. I chuckled a little bit. Those mistakes do happen. Very similar. A lot of people don't know this, but if you go back and look at it, 2002, Norfolk State University versus Morris Brown College, in the gym, Morris Brown put a cymbal player on top of his shoulders, and they were twirling the cymbal players, and then all of them were supposed to put the cymbal players down, but one of the cymbal players fell over and kind of, I don't want to say hit their face. But anyway, a lot of people didn't see it and a lot of people did. So my point is, if you missed it, you just kind of missed the cymbal player running and not making it too well. There was a couple of phasing problems, I agree. But I think all in all, from a drill perspective, that's what I'm talking about. I ain't talking about nothing else right now. I'm just talking about drill. I just felt like A&T's drill was cleaner. That's just me. That's
but you're speaking specifically about drill. What were the judges looking for? Because we don't know. You seen the score sheet?
I mean, we already know that the
okay,
argument
but
about
I'm just
judges
saying,
and
like,
score sheets.
Who knows? Like, I don't know what they were looking for. What I will say is, I don't know that I have an opinion on who should have won or not. I don't feel like any of it was end of the season. Wow, look where we've ended. I think the performances to me were reflective of the season that we have. Meh. What I will say was that I've seen better from A&T's auxiliary unit.
Fair.
Some of what I saw was not poor execution, not clean, things like that. I don't know what the judges were looking for. I just know that I've seen, because we used to play them so often, then they went to a different conference and we had a contract with them and we saw them, I think, for 3 years straight.
Right.
The level of, performance execution that I'm used to, I didn't see in that performance. But I don't know that I feel like any auxiliary unit knocked it out of the park. Which is kind of disappointing.
Not one?
No, I ain't see nothing that I was like, wow. No.
So is it fair if I play this? Hold up, let me see. Shots fired. Is that
no? I'm not. I'm not. It's not shots fired. I just didn't see. Okay. I guess for me, if I was planning for this, and again, let me say this: I don't know how much notice these schools had. But what I would say, because that might play into all of this. I don't know when they notified them. I know when we found out, but I don't know when they found out. But I try to, increase the level of difficulty, the level of wow factor as I get through the season. That's a goal of ours because you're supposed to be progressively getting better. And so in an indoor situation, I'm trying to push the limits. There's no win. There's nothing that I have to consider here. So I just feel like if you're saying that you made it to the band of the year, put on a show then.
Dang, she said put your dukes up.
That's just me. That's my personal. I didn't see anything that screamed, this is the best of the best.
Now, I will very slightly disagree with you on one thing. Because if I'm not mistaken, wasn't Miles at the National Battle of the Bands this year? I think so. I think if my memory serves, either this year or last year. I think it was this year though. But I do remember seeing them at the beginning of the year. And I would definitely say that I appreciated their show at the band of the year more than the National Battle of the Bands. Like I could see the progression in them this year.
I'm saying I was speaking from simply an auxiliary perspective. I didn't see anything that wowed me.
Okay. Okay. She said that it was dry as a Sahara desert.
That's
It
not what I
was
said. I just said I didn't
no. You were
see.
saying you were saying that the field show. You did say this. The field shows or the shows were indicative of the year, right? Dry as a Sahara desert. Because that's the way I feel. I feel like this season has been dry. It's been as dry as a celibate woman's sex life. It was dry. It was dry.
And
And
I want to say, like, I wasn't like, I don't have anything to compare these people to. I said on this show multiple times this year, I really haven't been really like a bandhead this year. I haven't really watched a lot. So if I'm walking into that and I'm coming to something where they say this is the band of the year competition,
mhm.
I'm expecting, not comparing you to what you were doing last week. Not only is this the band of the year, but this is the end of a season. So you should have had this entire season to grow people, to enhance your skills, to get better, to increase your level of difficulty. So I expect that at the band of the year, after the end of the season, that if you're going to put on a pageantry show, that it's a show. And I just didn't see any. And I'm not, this is not a slight against them. Like I said, I don't know how long they had to prepare for this or anything, but I wasn't wowed. And that's just me being honest.
Okay.
Now, if you told him a week before, a week and a half before, then again, to me, that's wrong. Um, that level of preparation up against holidays and everything else. But yeah, if we're gonna say it's the band of the year and you the best of the best is who's here for this thing, who's battling this thing out, I want to see that from the drum major to the last BD. The expectation is the expectation. You're gonna say you're the band of the year at the end of this. That performance should be reflective of that.
So basically, she said that you got to bring out Petey Pablo and.
That's not what I'm saying. But
But
I just expect more at the end of a season and at this level of a competition.
no, I absolutely agree. So I want to shift a little bit here. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it out there. Your boy has been getting a lot of flack because and I don't care, but about my thoughts on Band of the Year, my thoughts on what happened with Flomo, and so on and so forth. I want to ask you this question: do you feel like, and I kind of put an LBR out already, but I want to get your perspective. Do you feel like Band of the Year was executed well? What do you feel like the changes that could be made if you don't feel like it was executed well?
First and foremost, I want to address this, and I said this in our little chat. The number of people that are on this internet lying about things related to this is like borderline insane. Like, people are talking and saying things that they know nothing about. Bands are getting score sheets. They are doing this. They are doing that. Y'all are getting this. My program, the program I'm associated with, ain't getting none of that. Okay. So I just want that to be clear. I think we said this before, Julian, and I still have hope. I think this is an awesome idea. I think that having adjudication, we've always been for that, right? I just think that we need to do this the right way. Please understand that I get that you're never going to be in a position to please everybody. Completely understand that. But there's a way that they could do this that would be more accepted than this right here. The first thing you need is transparency. Clear, concise directions, insight.
So let me stop you right there. Because I tell everybody all the time, I read all of the chat. I read every single thing that's in the chat. Some of it I laugh at. Some of it I'm like, really? Some of it. When I look at the chat, and I've said this before. Now I'm gonna put it out there. Me and her have not fully talked a lot about this. We've had maybe one text message conversation,
Right.
and that was basically it. And that was in a group of people.
Right.
But I will say this. When I said there needs to be transparency, I got multiple people in comment section talking about, man, they told you everything. I mean,
No, they don't.
I'm gonna say the one that I got called out for. I mean, if you were invited to the press conference, I mean, you would have known, right? Apparently there was multiple levels of transparency that I just didn't get any piece of, and it's just me. It's just me.
I can't speak to nobody else, okay? I'm telling you, we don't know fully what we're being judged on. I have no idea if they look at the auxiliary at the school that I'm associated with, because that's all I can speak to, as 2 units or 3 units. Because it's the Silkettes, it's the Spartan guards, and then it's hot ice. But the guards and the Silkettes both twirl. So is my score divided by 2 or is my score divided by 3? Where's the transparency in that? Where did they share? Where did they share that even if you don't submit videos this year, we're going to include you anyway, and we're going to pull stuff off the internet? Because let me say it with my chest. Norfolk State University, Spartan Legion, didn't submit a single video in the year 2024. Yet we were evaluated and ranked, taking up spots from people who probably submitted videos. But if you're going to score me, you're going to rank me, tell me how you're going to rank me. Are you dividing our scores by 2 or by 3? If you're going to rank me, if you're going to score me, and I need to improve upon something, that's not what that thing said. That thing said the score was divided by 3. That thing that they put out said they were dividing it by 3. Or maybe I read that wrong. But anyway, if I want to improve on whatever you deducted points for, how do I find out what that is? How do I get better? How do I improve? So that's my transparency, right? Having everybody understand what we're being evaluated on. Giving actual feedback. I don't know no marching band competition other than this that you go to and you don't get feedback from the judges.
Apparently, according to the video that I saw, that they did apply, they did give feedback. According to what I saw,
Norfolk State University has not received any feedback because our director of bands would have shared it. We would have talked about it as a staff. And because I saw all these people on Beyonce's internet lying, saying that there is feedback coming, these things are happening, I went and asked my director of bands. He double checked while I was on the phone with him. This was 2 weeks ago. We don't have any feedback. Don't have it. Never received it.
And I want to make this very clear. I don't say things without getting information from people. Some type of information, right? This is why when I get out there and I say these things, I can say them based on the information that was given to me. Now, I don't know what happened to Chuck. Chuck just popped in and he popped out. I don't know.
Yeah.
But this is coming from someone who is in the band room at a university. So it's not just Luke just saying this.
Actively coaching right now today.
So
I'm not saying it to be funny. I don't think that my squad is perfect. I really want the feedback.
Exactly.
What can I do better? What wasn't clear, or what didn't we convey in that performance, or what skills were lacking? So transparency, right? Understanding the full scope of expectations of who's being judged and how they're being judged. I also think it's ridiculous to judge picture and drill when there's not a single video out there of a marching band from this season. I went and looked, spot checked, where you can see the entire show. Even for the Spartan Legion, all the videos of our field shows bounce between the dancers, the percussion here, that you don't see the full show. So if I have a mistake, if they messed up, I'm covering that up and going to something else. So why? No worries. The requirements are that you submit a full field view, unedited video. Why isn't that the requirement? So transparency, clear expectations, and then these judges. I don't even want to go there. The judges is crazy. Who judging me? Who judging me? And not trying to be funny, it doesn't have to be somebody from the HBCU world to judge color guard, because either it's good or it's not.
I agree.
Well, but see, here's the problem with that. See, right? You say that, and then the argument is going to be, well, we don't y'all can't judge our style. Our style is different. That's
color guard is I'm sorry, color guard is color guard.
I agree.
What we talking about?
Who's calling? Was that mine? Was that me? Anyway, but no, I agree.
mean, you can add your little splash on it. You can add your little pizzazz on it. But color guard is color guard. I don't care how you slice that. And then I just think that even with that Florida Memorial situation, if you disqualified them in the beginning and they still submitted a video and you still decided to judge it, that disqualification is null and void by your own actions. To me, once you accepted, reviewed, and ranked them, whatever you told them was null and void. And then the problem that I have, again, under one of your videos, your Luke's Band report, the person go say, well, what, they wasted the $100,000 they got last year? Why they ain't buy uniforms? Do you know how much uniforms cost a pop? Do you know that they're a new program and that they may have needed that money for something else because you don't know how much that school is or is not supporting their efforts? So all these people talking all that noise don't know what it takes to actually make this thing run. You don't know what it takes to get a band from band camp, from recruitment to the field. All y'all internet band directors and band staff members that are clueless on this internet saying with your chest it is not real. I'm sorry, in a marching band world, in today's society, $100,000 is not a lot of money. And you have no idea what they needed to do with that money. But what I do know is that $100,000 or whatever it would take to outfit Florida Memorial will be a drop in the bucket to ESPN and to Disney, since you decided to still judge them, to still include them. I'm sorry, I got on the soapbox. I'm gonna go ahead and be quiet. I'm gonna go ahead and be quiet because this has really been getting on my nerves.
It's been building up. It's been building up. You just have to go ahead and get it out. No, I get it. They on here lying, talking like they know what they talking about, defending this BS when it's not real life. I wouldn't have no reason to get on here and say I ain't getting where my score sheet at for 2 years if I had a score sheet. So clown behavior. We need to be better. So I do want to say this before we get into the people who have come in just now. I just got a text message from somebody who said from a university, HBCU, that just said they didn't receive scores either.
See what I'm saying?
So,
but it's people on this internet saying they lying. It is scores. They do send scores. Who they sending them to?
Listen, Luke is not the bad guy. That's all I want to say. Luke is not the bad guy. And I just need people to understand that. I just want everything to be right, and we do it the right way. That's it. Anyway, man, we gonna get to our guest, man. We got Simon in here. We got Chuck. I'm gonna bring in Will in a second. What's up, brothers?
What up, Doc?
Yo.
I don't know where you at, but I know where Chuck is at though. I know he's in Midwest. I hope it don't freeze on y'all this year.
Oh no, the weather is not bad. It's actually
All right. I'm glad to hear that.
Around, it's decent. It's decent. It's not bad.
Where you at, Justin?
Oh, I'm in my this little office I be coming to.
Got you. I thought you was traveling again. I think I seen you put up a little dancing video not too long ago. So
yeah, that was in Monroe this weekend. I'm done for the season. I called it quits.
That was in Monroe. You know my people from Monroe, man.
For real?
Yeah. My mama whole side from Monroe.
You might well just start claiming Louisiana. That's cool.
Nah, I can't do that. You know why? I'm gonna explain that. I'm gonna explain why I can't do that. I can't do that because every time I say, yeah, my people from Louisiana, and they be like, what part? And I be like, Monroe. They be like, oh, that, people be like, it ain't New Orleans or Baton Rouge or something. So they be like, that ain't real. I be like, man, whatever, dog. So I'm gonna keep claiming the city of Houston. So I'm good.
Let me just say what I had to say. Look, first of all, shout out to you, Luke. I tuned into every band report. I did see the fact that you was getting in all the groups and stuff like that. It's funny to me, but to me, I enjoy the traction, whether it's positive, negative. You're watching. That's my whole thing when it comes to media, because everybody got an opinion, and it is what it is. A few things. So, I like the concept of band of the year, right? And to y'all point again, y'all been preaching on adjudication. I'm not an adjudication guy. I just don't think it's for these reasons alone right here that we run into. That's the reasons why I just rather let's do showcases and battles and stands and call it a day. But y'all been advocating for adjudicated battle bands. So I had so many questions about this. Y'all know, as one of the biggest videographers in the space, I approve and I promote small bands in the HBCU space. So when this whole thing first came about, I was like, how they judging these bands? Like the first year. I was like, I know these bands. This band don't have a media team, so I'm probably the only one with a video of this band online. So y'all using our videos to make up something in y'all head. Then that stuff keep going along. I'm making a point here 1 second. I'm like, I felt like they were just picking who they think gonna like draw a crowd. And from the answers that happened this year, with knowing that Jackson was gonna be there anyway, and some other stuff just transpiring, that's what it's kind of looking like. What's interesting to me, made me come on here, Portia, you said something that I knew, but I'm glad you clarified it. If Norfolk State, one of the premier bands in fucking HBCU, if you ask me, the band of the MEAC right now, if you ask me, if they didn't submit a video to be a part of this, how are y'all judging them in the first place?
We're not the only ones. We're not the only ones. We're not the only ones. This year, that I could name bands, okay? But I'm gonna give you one off buck that I know for a fact. From the very first year, oh God, why did his name? Double Deduction. Why his name not coming to me?
Who? I don't know. Double Deduction.
Bethune. What's his name? Why is that coming to me?
Wells
said, I ain't doing this. He said the first year, I'm not doing this. Do not count on me. I'm not doing it.
So
won't they rank this year? Last year, let me say this. Last year, it was supposed to be submissions only. We did submit last year. This year, that wasn't our focus. So we did not submit a single video. So when we saw ourselves up there, we all went,
It's almost like you signing. It's almost like you signing bands who didn't want a part of it up to get critiqued by the public and to get ridiculed if they don't make top 10.
You can't explain why some of the bands that I know, but that ain't my story to tell, that said they didn't want to be a part of this. Jackson is one. After last year, they said they didn't want to be a part, but they was on that list. But you cannot legitimize, and this is what I was alluding to earlier. If you have a band of the year competition and Norfolk State, Jackson State, Bethune, and all these other schools say, we don't want nothing to do with that, people gonna be like, ain't nobody's going to legitimize it. People aren't going to believe in it. People are not going to buy into it.
Portia,
So this year, when we decided not to, you went and found videos on the internet. They lucky they ain't get a C and D, because who told you to judge us?
And my point to the point that you made, because you swinging, you hitting bolos over there.
Sis
You
on
punching
fire.
the face. Yeah.
I'm just letting her
My,
rock.
my point is over here. Like, damn, if Norfolk say they didn't want no points, I'm using Norfolk because you are Norfolk's on staff. You the coordinator of the Silk, and so you the person we talk to. That spot that Norfolk got judged on could have went to somebody else.
We taking up
Actually,
spots
and
for
that's my
people.
point. That's my point right there. Like, dang, like, so it's good to hear that y'all didn't submit something, and somebody who probably had a better, let's just say, had a better show than anything that y'all put out this year submitted a video, but they couldn't make his Norfolk pick up a spot. It's messed up, and that's what I was saying. Like, damn, how they picking videos? Because my suggestion for when I heard I was done with it when I heard that they was picking one video per month. That concept alone, when you got bands like let's look in them since he right here. I know A&M might do two different field shows in 1 month. I know that. Because they might have Magic City and might have Homecoming the same month. They're not doing the same field show. So that whole concept alone, that's when I was like, damn, so they only using one field
It's
show?
supposed to be that they were evaluating one show a month, but you were submitting that one show. What I'm telling
That,
you is this year they must have said abort mission, because we ain't send nothing. And we
that's
were in the
crazy.
top 5, I think, the whole time. That was somebody's spot. Us, Jackson, Bethune, those was 3. We was in the top, at least top 5, 6 every week, every poll. And those spots should have belonged to people who wanted to participate.
Somebody watch this. Somebody that I follow this week and I commend them every time I get a chance. Shouts out to UAPB. I don't care what nobody say. UAPB traveled to every game this year. Oh, I saw them 3 or 4 times. And then every game they did a different field show. So that makes me like, damn, somebody who advocate for the bands won't get no damn love. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I know what's it saying. Norfolk ain't sent one. Jackson ain't sent one. Let's give UAPB that damn shot. You know what I'm saying? To be in the ranks. That's crazy. That's my whole
But
point. I'm
they're
glad you.
deciding that these certain bands need to be a part of this for it to be legitimate. And so whether they want to or not, I'm going to judge them. You lucky they ain't nobody sue them. They're lucky nobody issued a C and D, because we didn't ask you to go on the internet and pull down a video and judge us.
That's crazy. I'm glad you cleared it up because that's the question I asked. Like, what?
And who did you inform that you were doing that? Who did you tell you was changing the rules to? And why you having a press conference about an event that's invite only?
Yeah,
Please.
that was my thing. When somebody sent me the invite, it was like, Smash, you invited to the press conference. I'm like, a press conference? Why the press conference not broadcast live so everybody can see? And even I like Stephen Holiday. He do his adjudication. Like, if he can post the when he judging off, why y'all can't post that so everybody can see how the same mindset going to the event? Once again,
So,
I love the concept of the battle bands.
so I
It
want to
just
say this.
Hold
I
on.
want to say this real quick, Justin, because that was my argument. When people were sending me stuff and saying, yo, they saying this about you, and I'm like, well, I don't really care. But I was like, I was getting wind, like people were saying, well, because you weren't invited to the press conference. The first thing I said was, why wasn't it public? If I watch an NCAA game, if I watch an NBA game, all in any press conference is why is this not public? Why do
that's
I
what I
need
was
to have
asking
an
you.
Because
invite
they wanted
only?
to control the questions. They wanted to control the narrative. And they wanted to keep out anybody who was going to challenge what they're doing. That's why.
I want to take time because I know Chuck is out there,
Hey,
man.
I don't mean to pause. I don't mean to pause. True Seeker asked the question that I was thinking. They say, so are you
Uh-uh.
saying that if NSU would have been picked number 1 or 2, they wouldn't have participated?
No, we didn't ask for this. We
That's
didn't
crazy.
ask for this. We
That's,
shouldn't even have been 1 or 2, because we didn't ask to participate this year. Our kids went home after Thanksgiving, dog. They don't come back no more. Nobody's doing all of this.
that's all. I'm glad you cleared it up for me, Portia, because my gripe was it wasn't great phenomenal event. I like they listened to people. They went to one
It
side.
has
They did so many
amazing
changes.
potential. It has amazing
Yes,
potential.
I keep saying that. I don't disagree with that. And people believe that because I have issues with how things are run, that I am not in support of the event itself. That is not true. If I was not in support of said event, I wouldn't have watched said event. I would have been asleep or doing something else. I actually watched the event and spent time looking at the event, not to judge it, but because I actually care and I want it to be successful.
Here's what I actually think happened. They judged all the bands that they thought would legitimize it up until November. And then there's a caveat in the information that they did send out that says, because they do send out a blast at the beginning that says, just because you land at 1 or 2 does not mean that you're going to get an invitation to Atlanta. There are caveats, which include ability to attend the event, and it was a couple of other things listed. So that gives them the wiggle room to say, well, Norfolk didn't send no video, this school didn't send no video, we're going to pull videos, and we'll judge them up until the last one, and then we could
See
just...
portion right there. I'm sorry. That's what
This is my speculation. I don't know that, but you can't... I'm sorry.
That's crazy because if you saying
Y'all go
that
ahead. I'm gonna be quiet.
if you saying that it got stipulations and that if y'all didn't want to participate anyway, let's just move Norfolk them out the way and let bands who
Why
actually
you judge them at all? Why you judging us at all?
That's my thing.
Why
That's
you
my thing
judging us
right
at
there.
all?
I'll go ahead. What's up, Chuck? How you doing, dog?
I'm about to say let's get Chuck's thoughts in here. Chuck, what you got, bro?
Yo, what's up? Y'all can hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, we got you.
Okay, yeah, I bopped in and bopped out. I was trying to get on my iPad, and I just said, forget it, I get on my phone. Well, first and foremost, giving greetings from the Midwest Clinic. We had our first full day today, and it's been good to catch up with everybody.
Respect.
Luke and I, we had a conversation about this about a week ago, and just kind of sharing our thoughts or whatever. And Portia, I agree with you 110%. I'll say this, and I can say this confidently: we at Alabama A&M University band program did not submit anything.
See what I'm saying?
And there's the transparency. And again, I know a lot of the judging panel. I'm sure a lot of you guys do, and the individuals that are putting this together. In fact, when I was teaching in the Atlanta area, we met the guy from ESPN, and who was all working, with our main promoter for it. And they talked about it. And like several individuals on here have said, and we want to see it do well. It's a great concept. Again, I was telling Julian last week that I remember, back in our day, you had to see bands physically, and then being excited to hear an audio clip that was really not that good on, like, what was it? It was real audio, right, on the PC, to just hear on fifth quarter, right? And so to be able to sit last year in my living room, right, in the comfort of my home, and see, coverage of bands that I enjoy and bands that I don't get to see often, I think that's pretty dope. But another thing that we talked about, and individuals that have been through this, when you're a director and you're working with kids, right? Even on the athletic side, and you're being adjudicated, you're being judged. Like, there's a process not only to prepare for that, but also you have to realize, like, is this the best for my program at this point? And so you make a decision. You make a decision. This is why I was always taught not every gig's a good gig and not every competition is a good competition. My first few years, I was always going every Saturday. Bam, bam, we doing something every Saturday. And then I realized, like, hey, adjudication is for us, like, to take those comments and to improve and get better. You literally can't do that if you're always being judged, right? And so I started spacing things out, right? And I think, again, just like you were saying, Portia, that having forced adjudication, like that, it's not fair to the program. It's not fair to the people that work with these kids, and it's defeating the purpose. Again, there's a process. And I've had an opportunity. I've always been familiar with BOA, but this year I got to go to my first BOA because my son was participating, and I'm familiar with the adjudication sheets. But to be there in real time and to see how it's run and how it's functioned, and also the procedure that you have to go through to even to have a thought of you being a part of that adjudication process is a lot. Again, not knocking anybody on that panel, you know, but what I will say is competitions or adjudications that are done well are extremely diverse in a lot of different ways. They had band directors and people from different programs and stuff, which I think is cool. But again, there's more diversity, if you would say, in terms of experience, and I think that would help for this. To hear of the last minute stuff or the changes and again, I was like last year we knew it was a submission. We decided that we weren't going to submit. We'll see how this goes for the next year. And then this year, we just got so busy, we didn't submit anything. We'll look at it from afar. And they say, we see our name on the list. And I'm like, okay, and I can understand. I mean, I knew from the jump, and I think I felt a lot of people, and correct me if I'm wrong, that we knew Jackson wasn't going to participate from the jump for several different reasons. One of them being the Tournament of Roses, and again, Portia, you touched on something that I've really been, and I may step away from certain social media platforms because within the HBCU band community, especially folks that don't have a clue how to run it, like you said, band camp to maybe even game one, like it gets sickening to my stomach to see what people say and the uneducated comments. And then when you get individuals, not just saying myself, but others that may shed some light, it's like, oh, no, that ain't it. Like, and I get it. In band and sports, you deal with that, but it
It's too
gets
much.
it's
It's too, and
too
it got
much. It's too
crazy.
much. And I'll say this: we always, I know, with our program, we always like, hey, let's keep the main thing in terms of what we're doing. We're not worried about any of that stuff. And but again, our kids. Everybody's got a cell phone. Social media is a huge part of their life. I got two teenagers, so I deal with that daily. And it starts to seep into their heads, and it's tough.
And
It's
that's
really
why
tough.
I'm so passionate and upset about this, and why I'm saying the things that I'm saying, because I watch so many people come and attack my brother.
Right.
Julian is my brother. And
Right.
these people who don't know what they're talking about, lying on this internet,
Yeah.
speaking like stuff is facts, and it's not.
No, not at
It's
all.
not true.
Not at all.
And
And
some of these
yeah.
comments are saying, it's the second year. Say it directly to them. We tried. And my real gripe is not what I'm speaking on right now, is not even ESPN. My real problem is the people on the internet lying, defending these people.
Right. Just making up stories or making up
Making it
that
up
third and and,
And
and
like I said
to
earlier, Chuck,
try
like
to discredit people like
right.
Julian.
it kind of hurts ESPN as well. Like, think about this: if we want to make this the battle of bands, like the battle of the year, my thing is from somebody who always on social media and see the comments and be a part of them. Sometimes, like if A&M and NCAT, let's say if A&M and Norfolk was number 13, 14, that opens y'all up for ridicule. Like, y'all didn't even make top 10 whole time. Y'all didn't even submit videos.
Right.
That's crazy to
That's
me.
what
You know
I'm
what I'm saying?
saying. Like, they better be lucky, but they was like, man, whatever. Because somebody could have sent them a C and D. I didn't ask you to judge me. So if you put
Right.
me in a spot I don't want to be in and I didn't sign up for this, that's a liability and it's a damage to my brand.
Right.
Somebody could easily sue them. I didn't send you no video, so why are you judging me?
Right. I totally agree with that. And again, I do feel from, you know, there were improvements made, but I do feel that it's like, hey, we want. You ever have somebody like, yeah, I want help. I'll take your advice, but then they really don't. It
Yeah.
feels like that. And again, I'm not saying I'm an expert by any stretch, but there's some obvious things. There's some obvious things. Again, as a high school director that's been adjudicated in all ensembles in any stretch or form or fashion, there were certain competitions that I learned from my mistakes, and I'm saying I'm not going there because I know what's going to happen. Just like there's certain neighborhoods that you just don't go to because you know what it is. And so I think, like Justin said, it hurts ESPN. I want to see it do very, very well. But again, the level of transparency when it comes to certain things is not there. And again, I don't think it's fair, for programs, that don't get the opportunity, or even those that get the opportunity. It's like, hey, come to this event. Okay, you're all excited to go, but there's some obvious issues. There's some obvious issues, and again, I just hate to see our internet, our community on the internet sometimes. And I'll be honest, as an assistant director and as an adjunct professor, there are moments, and I'll just speak for myself, but I know I'm not the only one. Because I've talked to some head directors, like sometimes you don't want to do this anymore because it you have this idea, you have this dream, and just how your people that
Your
that
Your
people.
your
people.
people treat you and talk about you, that have no clue. And I gotta say this because I'm gonna shut up. Justin and Killer Kev and all the media outlets that are really doing this for the right reason, I appreciate you guys. I don't know how many times I've run into some other outlets, and they're younger. Everybody's got a cell phone and a gimbal, and they want to get it. I mean, we was at this game this year, and I was looking over, and I was like, I know that ain't one of our media team, and some random was literally almost in the ranks. And so I went over there, and I was like, "Yo, you got to move." And the look that this individual gave me, like I was wrong. I was like, man, is this what we're coming to in terms of like the culture of our bands, or just kind of understanding like certain things. I don't know. Maybe I'm cut from a different cloth. Certain things are acceptable and not acceptable to me. And sometimes I gotta, realize like, all right, I gotta approach this a little bit differently. But I just hate to see it because everybody works, extremely hard. I don't discredit anybody. And I think this thing could be a really, really good thing, especially attached to a name like ESPN. Like you said, their little bit of donate, that 100,000 or whatever, like, what I'm saying? There's a lot of programs that could use that. But who are we to judge, to say what the program's needs are, and how they use it? And also the institutions of higher learning. There are so many different gears that are running and turning. And I'm telling you, as an individual, this is year 2 on higher ed. I've learned so much. And you realize like it's such a different ball game than what it is maybe in secondary or middle school. And they have their own challenges as well too. And so it's like, man, like, do we really want to see the culture thrive and get better? Do we really want these kids to have a top tier experience? Do we really want our bands to get better? And honestly, there's sometimes I question that. I question it big time, and it's tough. It's tough because again, our kids, it's different now. It's way different than when we were in school. As even then, we had our own challenges as well too. So I last thing I'll say, I watched the shows, and I enjoyed, um, a little bit of everything that I saw from each of the groups. But when it comes to that adjudication, like it's got to be right. 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 It's got to be right because it can do so much positive and so much negative for just the overall. I mean, I stopped going to a local concert festival because my scores were changed 2 years in a row. And I said, I'm never doing this again. I'm going somewhere else. And so again, having to deal with those things when you see adjudication, you're like, man, it's got to be right. So again, I'm gonna shut up. I appreciate you guys. I'm glad to hear the conversation. And yeah, we got to do better. We got to do better.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, so I want to go ahead and say this again, man. If you got any questions, you want to come up here, you got some thoughts or whatever, the link is pinned to the top of the chat. Also, if you have any questions and you don't feel like jumping in, you can also give a super chat. I will read it and we'll put it up right here and we can discuss it. Will, man, you've been sitting here for a minute, man. I'm gonna let you get your thoughts in, man. Go ahead, bro.
No, what's up? Well, shout outs to everybody. Luke, I'm so used to you guys being the way it was when I first met y'all. So when I'm commenting on a video you do, I'm thinking I'm just talking to you, and then I come back and it's like 100 comments.
Yeah,
And like Portia said,
you've been getting it a little
oh
bit.
man, I've been looking, and then like Portia said, the amount of because I'm new to this space as far as media is concerned. I left hip hop and just detoured into this, and it's been about 4 years. So for me, it's like this year would it be in the fourth year for me? It was like a make or break year of if I wanted to continue to stay in this space and do media. For me, I kind of do, but again, there's certain situations where, like with this one, where I question things. Like she said, the amount of just inaccurate information is unbelievable. I mean, I wanted to go to the press conference because I asked them if I could come to the press conference, but I was going to go to the press conference because I wanted to speak to the Band of the Year staff, not the winners or the participants. And when I noticed that they had the directors up there instead, I said, well, it's a good thing I didn't go anyway because I don't want to speak to them. I want to speak to the people that we've been questioning and asking things and talking back and forth about all year. That everybody, it just seems like someone's getting this answer and someone's getting this answer. But again, I've been watching. I'm like, man, my man Luke can't have an opinion. That means your show is moving up in the world. Everything you say, you're moving up in the world. But for me, with the Band of the Year thing, again, I think it's a great thing. I told somebody, I said, I think this is the only bowl game that has a battle of the bands or something like this attached to it. And I think it's very fitting for a HBCU bowl game to have a battle of the bands or however. I think it's fitting for it. I think it's the coolest thing. But for me, it's the lack of information, the lack of the amount of inaccurate information. Some of these things are starting to become a turnoff. Like one man commented on something I said. He was like, it just seems like the whole band community is becoming toxic. And somebody said something back to him. But certain things, I mean, he's right. With the amount of lies you got, you can't say anything about anything. You can't even with you, Luke, I consider you someone an expert, you and your team, people who actually work in this, and people are telling you don't know what you're talking about. I'm just like, what is going on? Where is this coming from? Is this a whole group of people who are involved in this, and it's the old heads and truthers versus the new group? I'm like, what is going on? All in all, for me, band is positive. When Snipes gave his message at the press conference, that was probably the most touching because, like he said, and I could relate to it. Hearing him speak out of all of them, to me, it meant the most, and I'm glad they won with what he was saying about where he comes from, where his students come from, and all of that. To me, that's what it's all about.
I agree.
Seeing where this can take us. But nowadays, it's just so many other things going on. It don't matter if he's talking like that. It's somebody's got something to say about something. Again, I don't know where this thing is going as far as a whole. It's not just the band of the year thing. To me, as a whole, I keep questioning where's this band thing going? You know, because I've even heard you guys say that it's a rough year. It wasn't the same. Things aren't the same. But I don't think it's not. I don't think it's that way only because of performance. I think there's so many other things that are dragging the energy down. And again, this is the fourth consecutive year of me covering this sector of doing media. And I would say that this might be one of those years where it just seemed like multiple things brought the morale and the energy down. And if anybody disagrees or agrees, I'd like to hear it. But it just seems like we're getting so many other things but what we're here for.
What's your media platform?
I do photography, so I do news photography. I'm here on the East Coast. So I started out doing news photography here for ABC in Delaware, in WMDT, and then I moved into doing hip hop photography. So I mainly did a lot of the things like Summer Jam, the Roots Picnic, with Hot 97, Power 99 in Philly, Powerhouse. I mainly did that. And then, we got an HBCU here in Delaware, Delaware State, and I noticed that there was nobody covering that. So I started covering it. And then year two, I started getting Morgan and then Howard. And then now I'm in year four and I'm running into him in North Carolina as stuff that I didn't plan on going to a few years ago. But for me, the reason why I got into doing this Smash is because being in the MEAC area, nobody's covering it. So I said, you
So
know what?
that's
I'm a detour from the news stuff and, doing the hip hop stuff and do this because nobody else is covering it. I'm like, I would like to see the schools near me, but nobody was doing it. So I said, I'll do it.
I actually had to talk. I had to talk. It's crazy you say that because I had to talk. I'm spilling some beans. I've been talking with a lot of big organizers have been reaching out to me like this last year, and like sometimes y'all know me. Like to me, I feel like if it ain't for the culture, don't call me. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all know me. If it ain't rough in your face and how it's gonna be, then I call me. So I reached out, but two big event organizers reached out to me. I've been talking with them the last 6 months about like different things that I want to see happen for this upcoming year. And one of them, I wish I could tell y'all offline, but like it's some dope stuff that's like getting ready to happen, especially for those kind of bands. Like this is my first year. I had a full-time intern. Like I paid this girl full-time
Yeah,
to
I
come
saw. I
live
met
in
her.
Atlanta. Yo, yeah,
Hmm.
exactly. So that's great that you met her. Like, and the amount of like just feedback that like those kids on the East Coast like does give me, like in the Winston area, like thanks for the video, and like damn, like I know if I'm doing this much, it needs to be broadcast that much more. And I can ramble up along, but I've been doing so much stuff outside of the norm. I popped up to a Southern game, and they were like, "Damn, you came here?" I said, "What?" Like that was new to me. You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, whatever. So I just think that in this space, bro, I feel like with this whole ESPN thing, it has so much good it can do. I just think that they need to listen a little bit more. Because I feel like they should just do this. Instead of this whole picking and judging stuff, how about you just say this? This year, we picking in cat this person to come to the battle of the year, battle of the year, battle of the band. You know what I'm saying? They have been selected. They are getting the money this year, and next year who another four, and next year who another four. To the point where you get 4 years online, your top winners from now. We have a bigger. Because as long as y'all keep doing this judging and like voting the situation, and now that I know it's bands that didn't actually submit, where that could have been spots for the smaller bands or the bands who don't get no love, it's gonna be hope they. I know they're listening. I know they're listening, but they ain't gonna really say too much. You
But
know.
they're not saying this stuff because they don't want people to know. But I'm sorry. It is what it is. You chose to judge us, and we ain't send nothing. So why I'm gonna lie? I ain't finna lie for you.
I
It's
mean, would
people
it would it
lying
be
on here for you, but
would it be
I'm not
far
going to do that.
would it be far fetched if the admin said our school's participating?
Huh?
Don't ask them. They ask them. They those kinds of
Does
decisions.
that think does but does that happen? Would it be like, you know what, the director might be like,
No,
we
no.
ain't
Let me
doing it?
tell you what happens. So, like, if we go to Houston for that battle of the bands or something big like that, or when we had to what else? Any kind of invitational, you have to get clearance from the university.
Correct.
But that contact goes to the band office. They're not calling your admin and say, "Can your band come?" No, it goes to the director of bands who have to get clearance from the university, but that's an internal thing because you're gonna spend because like I said before, you're gonna spend some money. And
Yeah.
if you're gonna be away from the campus, they need to know that so they don't book you to do something else. But no, those requests go to the band office. Here's what I'm saying. Because somebody said in the comments something about getting rid of the adjudication. No, that's not what we want. That's not what we're saying. I'm saying, however you gonna judge this thing, they can fix it in like 3 or 4 things. I done already thought about it. However you gonna judge this thing, whatever
Let
the
me know.
score sheet look like, put it out. Bam. This is what we looking for. That's step one. You need to have qualified judges. I'm sorry if your background is just dance, you cannot judge my squad. Can't. You need qualified SMEs. One of these persons should be a percussion SME, color guard, dance, majorette, all the categories. If there are schools, there don't need to be any discrepancies. If you have 2 of this, 3 of that, 4 of this is how we're going to get to your score. I should not be guessing. Then you need to say, in order to participate, you have to submit. And if you submit, you have to participate all 3 months. Okay? Here's the major thing, because you're not going to send people, which you should be sending people to adjudicate this in person. You
Yes.
need to say that the requirement is that your submission is a full field view, unedited video, because you cannot judge picture and drill when they cut that piece out of it in the video they sent you. They moved to the dancers right there, or they moved to the other side of the field view to cover that up. Okay? And I'm sorry, but you need to know the sound quality that the people that was in that stadium actually got.
Well, see,
You
I was under
judging?
the. See, I thought that. So, and I could be mixing this, but I thought that, or maybe it was an idea of mine. I thought that people actually went to the games.
No.
See, it's there right there.
No.
That's what
Because
No.
my
for me,
thing
it's
was
like
too.
But we
if I'm
said
at
that
my
we
kid's
said that
game,
last
We
year.
I
said
can
that
No.
fly
last year.
Luke to
That
We
was
said
this,
that
I
last
can
year.
fly
that was
you
the
to that, I
problem.
can fly Quan to this, and
No, because if
fly
you
him
time
to
it the
No.
right
this.
way, you can cover a lot of these bands all in one weekend,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can.
depending on what's going on.
I
For
was
the
saying, I
first
can say,
one,
hey,
you go to Houston, you knock it out 8 bands.
Right.
But what I'm saying to you, if you're not going to do that, how you judging based on this edited video? I'm sorry, that's crazy to me. Picture and drill when the
but,
whole left side messed up, but the video
but
they sent you was
I
on.
can see, I can show you my
Oh,
Dropbox. Well,
I'm sorry.
almost
Go
every
ahead,
band.
Quan.
Oh, my
no,
bad. Almost every
no, no,
band
no.
that I'm cool. Almost every band that I'm cool with. And for official, I send them the raw, the top shot. In case somebody messed up, I fix a lot every weekend. You know what I'm saying? But
But
I
but
do.
but watch this though. But I mean, not only, and what's up, everybody? Like, not only did we say that last year, but here's the problem. Another issue that they run into. What about them bands that don't see bands for 3 weeks? How you gonna judge them? So you're judging them from a show from 3 weeks ago, and then all of a sudden you pop up at this particular classic. So that means for 3 weeks you didn't get judged. So I'm
You
gonna just
speaking. You
not
speaking.
not
'Cause
to not
my
to
yeah.
can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Y'all were talking
Okay.
at the same time, so
Oh,
it
my
was just
Yeah.
bad.
kind of funny. But yeah, go ahead.
You saying
So
something
so
that
so
you saying, my bad, Quan. You saying something that actually happened. Like, no offense, I mean, you didn't travel for this shit, but they had ample opportunity to do a great
But let
show.
me clarify this. It's only one, they judge one show a month.
Oh,
So
that's
there's
crazy.
a September show, there's a October show, and then there's a November show. And
Oh, so that
after,
means they can send somebody to this.
yeah.
That
So
means
watch
if
this.
we're backed
So
by
I'm a
ESPN, we can do this.
so watch this. I'm gonna drop it off even more. So first of all, hey everybody, I know it's been a minute. Uh, to all my people at Midwest, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Uh, and I gotta go in a little bit, but the crazy thing about all of this of what's going on is this. At the end of the day, what's really frustrating me, and y'all touched on it, is the people that have no real influence, well, positive influence, dealing with our band community. That's number one. Number two, I received a message from myself. I'm not gonna say who, but from a person that they was kind of like beefing and getting into it with the adjudicators themselves because there's biasness and biases within the adjudicators. Prime example, if you're a person that you're from Jackson State, you're looking for things that piques your interest dealing with Jackson State. So if that school doesn't look like Jackson State, I'm going to ding you. If you're a person, and not knocking the expertise of these band directors, but if you're a person that you did step two drills your whole time, then you need to be adjudicating step two drills. You don't need to be adjudicating floating drills, or because how can you really analyze it? You're not an expertise in it. And see, like, that's the problem with adjudication. So what's frustrating me with our community is we have blueprints called DCI, but as soon as we say that, they say, well, we don't want that white mess. My thing is, why not work harder? Why not work smarter than harder if something is already developed? That's number one. So we know that if you look at the DCI collectively, that's over 30 years of truly judging one show all summer, right? One show all summer. You're struggling with one show in 1 month, from August to back to December. We already spoke about the problems with people not submitting. We also spoke about the problems if a band doesn't travel for 3 weeks. We also didn't speak about edited videos. The problem with everything, this bottom line is you got too many people who don't know nothing about nothing that are in these rooms, and that's what's bad about it. So I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna be the person that says it because they came out. I don't knock the raw and uncut page. I don't knock none of that. It's funny, most of it. A lot of it is funny. But the reality of it is, if we're trying to go to the next level of bandsmanship, to go to upper echelon where it's now global, where ESPN has a banner underneath it, then honestly, this right here is piss poor. Bottom line, it is piss poor. And the problem is, this is the representation of us. So basically, what you did from August or whenever it started to December, you lied to us because you already knew. So what you did was waste other bands' time. And then on the back end, and I'm gonna speak about this because we know the directors at FloMo, at Florida Memorial, and we know what was said. So at the end of the day, don't attack Julian for something that we know that came out of the source's mouth. It's one thing to be like, we played telephone and we heard from 3 different people. Now we heard from the people that they told them, yeah, well, y'all can't come because y'all don't have uniforms. But yet and still, they were the first winners. So y'all knew last year that they didn't have uniforms. So pick and choose what you want to do. That's all I'm
And
saying.
because like I said, somebody not like it. I do agree with just like Macy's parade and some of these bigger parades. You got to have uniforms to get in. I think as a collegiate band, you should have some damn uniforms. But to their point, y'all let them perform last year without uniforms, and
But
you
But
get
you
y'all. So,
still
so
judge me this year. Why did you adjudicate me if I was
if
but here's
disqualified? That doesn't make
exactly,
any sense.
exactly. Exactly. Here's the thing though, Smash, is this at the end of the day, they have a thought out uh plan on being what qualifies you for this Macy's parade, for this Rose Bowl parade. And let me tell you something about the Rose Bowl parade that people don't know. When I went to the Rose Bowl parade and they required pristine uniforms, guess what Honda did? They bought PV new uniforms. People don't know that either.
this ESPN we talking about, they got the bread.
Well, I'm
got
gonna
the
say
You know how
this.
hard.
I'm
You know
gonna
how
say
hard.
this. I was told this. Well, I'm not gonna say this. I'm gonna say it was said in the comment section. Why does ESPN have to buy another university's uniforms?
That's why
They
I
should they should
responded
have the
what
money
I
to
was.
be able to do it. They got
That's
paid.
why I responded the
That's
way
what was
I
said.
did.
I remember that one.
That's why I responded the way I did. That's why I said what I said about you don't know that band program situation. You
Right.
don't. First of all, you don't know how much uniforms cost. You don't know what else they're doing. They probably holding that shit down there together with
For
duct tape
scholarships.
and glue. They probably.
Exactly.
You don't know how much support. All schools don't support band programs. You
And
don't
the
know
new
what they.
program.
You
There's a
don't
new
know what
program.
they needed that money for.
I
That's
think
why,
I think
that's why I said all these people who don't know nothing aren't associated with any collegiate band talking out their face and lying or speaking and spreading misinformation. It's giving fake news.
It's giving shade room. Oh
basically.
no, no, I
I'm gonna
shouldn't say
say
that. Go
this.
ahead.
I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna let you guys keep going because what I'm doing is I'm just sitting back and just letting y'all talk because of the fact that I've talked for at least 2 weeks, and I've been the guy who's it's been 3 weeks. God dang,
It
I've
really
been
been
the
fun, but
guy.
I'm be nice.
Well, okay. Okay. But I've been the guy who's been like, dog, you don't know what you're talking about, da 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 da. So I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna just let y'all go.
But
But
Jay
I'm gonna
Luke,
say
did
this
you?
though.
No, no,
I'm gonna say this though. I need for people to understand when you put something out in a public space that it has room to it has room to have an opinion from other people. So for people who feel like when I'm saying something or anybody on this panel or anybody in the chat or anybody who gives a super chat to say something, they have the right to say it because you put it out in a public space.
I have a question for y'all, and
Period.
I don't mean to swing you, but somebody asked me this. What's gonna happen when the popular bands, I hate to say it that way, are the big dog bands, because you see who didn't participate, who don't participate now, don't want no parts of it.
It's gonna fold.
That's why
And
they did what
honestly,
they did this year.
it's
Why
going to
that's
fold even
why they
more.
that's why they included those bands. Why they went and told somebody to pull a Norfolk State, pull a Jackson State, pull an A&M video, and I know some other schools videos off the internet and judge them anyway because people were going to ask questions about why these specific bands are not appearing in your top 10.
But I'll say this: if it does fail, to me, if it fails, I really don't blame the banner of ESPN, because to me, from what
No, it's the
everybody is
people that they
saying,
put in place. They
is
probably
the
don't even
people,
know
right?
it's
It's
legitimate.
from what I'm seeing is that the people running the band of the year event are HBCU people. So to me, so is ESPN really getting the truth
No, they
from those
don't. I
people?
don't even think that the
I don't even think they know.
ESPN, the entity, knows that
Right.
there's anything wrong. They probably know something going on, that they got this place that seats 80,000 people, and it's only, I
Whoa,
don't
whoa,
know.
whoa, 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 whoa. I just want to clarify. I want to clarify that the last LBR that I did, where I actually said congratulations for a good event. I actually said that. I said that. There were people in the comments that said, "What are you talking about? There were more people there were more people there this year than it was last year." So apparently it was successful because there were a lot more people in this year than it was last year.
The
What we saying?
videos that
What we
I
saying? What we saying? A lot more people there. What's a lot more people?
well, last year it must have been like 250 people there, and it probably was
Last year,
like
last year
2,500
it
people
was
there
not
this
that
year.
many people there, well, to me,
No,
compared to this year.
videos that I saw, somebody sent me a video and said it ain't nobody in here. So I'm sorry, in a venue that has 80,000 people, if it's 3,000 people in there, that ain't no people. Because you know what was sold out the Celebration Bowl?
But also what had a lot of people? Jackson
Oh, don't
State.
say it. Oh shit,
Jackson
don't
State.
say it.
Jay
Jackson
with the
State
bull.
audition.
Come
Jackson State
holler at the
audition.
bull.
Like what's I try to stay off the fact of the people that's pushing these narratives are people that did not is the people that didn't make it through band camp. I'm being specific because Simon, we know your situation, but you've never spoken if it wasn't true. Like real talk, there's certain people that I feel like is credible. BS you not. But then there's some people that I feel like what I've been observing the last 2 weeks, it's like, bro, y'all have no clue because we're talking to the band directors directly.
You
We're
stay,
talking to
stay
some.
right there, cause that's how I feel. Like whenever it's something band related, bro, I laugh at it. I talk to Gary all the time. If I'm gonna say fucking Norfolk suck, let's say that. I know for sure they might call me. You know what I'm saying? I know I can call up there and explain the reason why. Like I said this, and if I say it, I'm not afraid of the backlash. So I think that my opinion on things. If I'm saying something, I'm saying it because I probably already knew that Norfolk get fucking sent on damn video. You know what I'm saying? I can't put it out there early because they might not want nobody to know. I'm glad Portia said this, so I can now get some reconciliation about all these things that's been how it been going on. But like my guy down here said, if this thing fall, it's not ESPN fault. I don't
No,
think it's
because I
It's
don't
not.
think they realize the ESPN, the entity, realize that there's a problem. Now they probably trying to figure out why all these other battle of the bands have 15, 20, 30,000 people, and it's 3,000 people in here. But tomorrow we done sold this joint out.
I
But
don't think that the people running it on the HBCU end are going to really tell them if what they're seeing
you
year
got to
one
no.
and
produce
two
numbers.
they
You got
like.
to
If
produce
you know what I
numbers.
mean.
They don't
Luke, did
want to
you ever
do.
reach out to a Julian White or Jackson or anybody from there to come speak on the show?
My bad, I was muted. What happened?
Did you ever reach out to anybody on that panel, like a Julian White or Lawrence Jackson or
I have done
anybody?
this. We have been doing this since last year.
And did they say no?
We have never heard feedback
Oh, okay.
ever. We have sent people who
Mhm.
know people who know people
Right.
to speak for us. Say, look, we're inviting you. We would love to talk to you. We would love to sit down. We'd love to be in the room. We've said that on multiple occasions.
Right.
As a
We don't,
matter
it
of
don't even have
fact,
to be on the show. Like
as a
we're
matter
willing
of
to sit
fact,
down.
I know a judge personally who I told one of the judges, like, yo, hey, talk to this person for me. Get me in the room. Da 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 da.
Even right
Because with
now,
the press conference, that's my thing. I wanted to speak to them. I wasn't looking for the directors, but
it's like somebody told me the reason why Miles got picked because of the Florida Memorial situation, right? Let's see where it's at. I know it's a nice person. I can call him on FaceTime right now. And I thought to myself, back to when I've been thought about it. So the only reason why Miles got picked is because Flomo had the uniform situation. When you're not about to tell me that Miles is probably, I hate to do it, one of the best D2 bands every year. Sometimes you forget that they D2. You know what I'm saying? So that's when this whole judging thing, I know Miles got a fire official. They're going to play at least one or two swipe schools every year, i.e. Alabama State every year because it's a big old game. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, who judging this shit? Like, who picked
The other thing, here's a suggestion that I have. I'm gonna put this out here in case they watching. Why don't, when you put up the results, you also link to the field show that you use to judge this, so everybody looking at the same thing? But you would have to be on the up and up. You would have to be on the straight and narrow to do that.
Conspiracy.
I don't even think it's a conspiracy. I just think that we want to say that we're doing something, but we don't want to put the work in to actually do it the right way.
So, are they going to switch the judges for next year? Can we get a whole new panel?
Well, it's hard. I just don't know why all of it isn't released. Here's the score sheet. Here's how things will be judged. Here's the rules that of people who can and can't participate, and here's the panel of judges, and here their expertise, here their bios.
So I just want to say, I just want to make sure I'm clear, in what I said earlier. Somebody, this was from one of the comments. I was at the event. It was filled on the lower level from the south end zone to the opposite 10. I have pictures. Someone else came down here and said, we're comparing blah, blah, blah. Clearly, this event had more people in it than last year. So apparently,
that's a standard, but is that the standard?
But again, I wouldn't say it's a lot, but it did have more people. It did have more people, but it also had 6 programs this year.
I just wanted to make sure I put that out there that was the communication that was on my end.
And that's another thing too. Like when he just said that, cause like, bro, like let's go to the high school aspect, something I specialize in, right? I heard there was 26 high school submissions submitted, right? And then, no offense to the schools that got picked, but you picked two of the premier schools in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? You picked Jonesboro coming off a crazy year. I'm saying they didn't deserve to be there, but because it's Jonesboro, and you picked Southwest DeKalb, another really big known school.
Legendary.
Like, exactly. So it's like, did you pick them because you know they're going to draw a crowd?
Before we get to the high schools, I'm sorry. There's no reason that you are not I'm talking just money bag perspective. We talking about getting to the money. There's no reason that you know that every year that the Celebration Bowl is going to sell out, and you would not be smart enough to have the two bands associated with those schools in that building. Even if it's just exhibition, why would you allow them to? Because I'm going to tell you right now, we're not participating in none of this, but we got a new coach and everything down here in Norfolk. So if we ever get to the Celebration Bowl, we're not going to be
next year.
We're not going to be at this event. We're going to recruit. Every time we come to Atlanta, we recruit. So now you're making it so you have competition the night of this event, because we going to recruit. Instead of having those bands in the building and making it an opportunity where you can have admissions people down there at the bottom. You can have, build-in time beforehand. If you got seniors in the area and they want to come audition for these bands, it's room in the Mercedes. Like, it's so many ideas. It's so many ways, because then you got the 4 bands of the year, you got the high schools, but then you got those two bands that are here as exhibitionists because their schools made it. Mm-hmm. All them people that's already in town for that Celebration Bowl, they
come and watch today. That's the smarter thing you listen.
They come in for Atlanta for like, yeah. I just
want to say not that Vic y'all coach. I've been rocking with Norfolk. I don't hear all these new people coming. I just want y'all to know.
You say you're not a bandwagon
fan. Yeah, don't give me no extra.
In the gym.
I don't want no problem getting no game. I don't want none of that. No.
Hey, Simon, me too, bro. Me too.
Yeah, man, that's it. But
I'm just saying.
Say welcome to all the new Spartans
I'm Team Legion. I'm Team Legion now. I'm Team Norfolk.
Movie around here. Okay. No,
Hey, I
listen.
say, hey, let them same big shoes come out in green and black. I'm going to give me. I don't care what nobody say.
Facts.
What? And
Facts.
No,
Facts.
but no, and seriously though, why wouldn't you take advantage of that? So you know that these schools are going to want to come here and recruit, and so why would you give them space to compete with you when you could just bring those fans in? And so I just think that it's a way to do it that would be beneficial for everybody, and I really hope that you that we can get to whatever that space is. You're not going to please everybody, so nobody's saying that. I'm more angry with the people on the internet line to defend this foolishness than anything else. But I still have hope. I haven't completely checked out. I just think that we could do things that would make it more acceptable. You're not going to please everybody, but more acceptable to the masses. You know, just put it all out there. The more information you give, the more people will feel comfortable, the more accepted this would be. I like Atlanta ain't but a flight for me, but I'm not coming to nothing that I don't feel like was done the right way. I'm not spending my money on that. I'm just not. I just think we had and I want to make this clear. Us as a team, Passion is Julie and everybody. We talked about this when it first came out. We had such high hopes. I still got high hopes. I'm keeping that hope alive. But we have to be and expect from our people the absolute best. Nobody else would accept this, so we don't need to.
And it's only year 2, so I agree. I think that it has to get better. I mean,
It can't, or it's not going to
it
sustain.
has to get better. So,
But it's not fair to those band programs. And you heard me say, you heard Chuck say, Jackson put it on the internet. We come into the thing we actually assigned, we actually wanted to participate in. That was a shot at this. We didn't send you no videos, so why are you adjudicating us? So I think it's going to be more bands to check out. So they just need to do stuff different and make everything as clear, as transparent, as upfront as possible.
Me
Luke,
too.
man, I ain't gonna lie, Luke, man, you've been talking for the last 2-3 weeks, man. Luke, every time I look up Band Report, I'm like, man,
Mike been working, and
Band
these
Report?
people been mad.
I
Okay,
was
they've
like, when he
been
gonna do
mad.
a live again with his people, man? He just Band Report.
No,
They've been mad.
so and everybody knows this, like the whole team knows this. You know, I want to make sure that that whatever comes out that is newsworthy, that is band focused, HBCU focused, or HBCU band focused, or anything music education focused. I always want to make sure that I'm jumping on that as soon as possible to deliver it to everybody and making sure that I'm staying constant with that. As far as the live, because we've gone bi-weekly, it seems like we don't
Yes.
go live a lot.
Yeah.
But that's also because I've been doing some other things behind the scenes. So like I do have an interview coming up. I want to finalize it before I put it out there and put the information out there. But I think it's a really big interview that I've been wanting to do for I want to say maybe about a week or so. And then obviously we're coming back and we're going to be doing some stuff. But the other reason is also because I'm about to drop another kid, so I've been kind of staying away when I need to, and when I need to report whatever it is I need to report, I'll be there. But so that's kind of what a lot of that is I want to make sure that I want to stay as true to this as I say that I am. And so that's why I've been giving as many reports as I possibly can.
One of these comments, bro. I'm sorry. So, is it Tories 22? I want to talk about that. The event chair feels that the Celebration Bowl bands didn't earn the right to be there. He wants it to be all about the finalists. I just don't know if I'm flying to Atlanta and spending hotel money and all this money to see 4 bands.
I was going to ask that question.
I'm
Do
not
you
doing
really
it.
think the location is an issue?
No, the location is not an issue because when you take it from 4 to 8, it's worth my coin.
And when Mike Vick and them go to the Celebration Bowl in Atlanta, it's gonna be even bigger, man.
Right.
Come on, man.
We're gonna be there in full fashion.
Yeah, I mean, like, you got to think about it. Like, the people from those schools will probably travel. But then again, I'm just saying, Celebration Bowl or not, you can caveat it that they're here because they're connected to the Celebration Bowl. But I'm talking about from a money perspective. Those people whose teams are in that Celebration Bowl is coming. They coming. But I'm just saying, if I'm considering coming to this, I've been to the Celebration Bowl. Norfolk State ain't been to it, but it's a blast. I suggest everybody go. It's a whole vibe. It's Black excellence on display. You wear your stuff. I was Norfolk State down, and I just went and had a good time. I suggest everybody go. But if I'm deciding if I'm taking off work or if I'm flying in Saturday morning or I'm flying in Friday night and spending an extra night in a hotel or whatever for this band of the year, it needs to be worth my dollars. And I'm sorry, I'm not coming to see 4 bands. I'm just not. And I like band. Okay.
I understand. I feel like they're trying to. I don't know. Are they trying to make money? Because y'all,
Maybe that's
y'all
not the goal. Maybe
huh?
that's not the goal.
Yeah, because if y'all ain't trying to make money, hey, keep doing what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? But to me, if y'all want to recruit some of these funds and take out the place, I mean, call your boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, even something as simple as just like you said, bringing the other 2 bands, man, bro. Let's not talk about if you make it like official competition of category. Okay, we got the game winners, the people who made it their own category. You got the 4, and you got 2 high schools. I think that's more than.
Even if
I'm
you
gonna
say,
add an element to
even if
this
it's, go ahead.
that I don't think anybody even really is talking about, right? So like, and let's be real, we giving free game here, but how about you solve both problems, right? Like, one of the biggest issues a lot of people have been talking about is the fact that because it's adjudicated, it's field show, and because the culture has shifted to the stands, it's not as exciting. So why don't you take the 2 bands who are invited to the Celebration Bowl and
And let them go back and forth
go
in the
back and
stands
forth and
as
battle,
an intermission.
and then
What you mean? Don't you run that? You don't think the me I gonna stand a chance to get swag over there?
No. See, I love you,
All
but
right,
I'm
then. Let
always looking for
me
that.
get.
I'm always
The
looking for that.
whole Norfolk make it
No,
see
no,
it.
I'm just saying that there are different things and different ways you can incorporate them that they would not be competing with your event.
right. Well, I
Right.
mean, don't
That's
they
what
get to
I'm
do?
saying.
Didn't they technically do that after the game though?
No, I'm talking about Friday night at the same time this event was on. The Boom was at a high school.
Oh
Next
no,
year,
no, okay, I was talking about something
if
else. Sorry.
Norfolk is there, we're gonna be doing the same thing, competing with this event because we gonna recruit. We're not coming to Atlanta and not recruit. So that's what I'm saying.
Let's not talk about if let's say Vincent Jackson go against they are a very good team. If the Boom and Norfolk do like a battle of the bands, then oh my god, the same night of what? And the same okay, you got Boom versus Jackson the same night in Celebration Bowl battle of the band. I don't know the fuck y'all gonna be at, but I can tell you the fuck I'm gonna be at. Shit,
Norfolk versus Jackson.
That's what he's saying. Like next year, if it pans out that way and they do a joint event or something, like you don't want, I'm saying from a marketing perspective, you don't want it where something is taken competing with you. I'm sorry. It's just not. And maybe they could go this route if it once it was more established. But I'm just saying right now is what's the draw? We could I don't know.
that'd be crazy, boy.
Next year Celebration Bowl. I'm saying it right now. Norfolk versus Southern. I'm saying it now. Celebration Bowl. Norfolk versus Southern. Just putting that out.
I wouldn't really want to see that though.
Why not? You crazy? That's
What?
what the
No,
people
no,
want
no,
to
no,
see.
no, no, no.
That's what the
See,
people want to see.
no. Let me explain why I
I'm
wouldn't want to see
listening.
that. Let me explain. You got to remember, I am a O2 Dizziac. The years that I wanted to play Southern, I would be upset. And don't get me wrong, I'd be excited for the Legion to play Southern, but I would be upset that them young boys got the opportunity that I did not get in my years of marching. I would support it,
Hey,
but I
son.
would be upset, bro.
Hey, he jealous. Hey, it's gonna be a sellout.
Heck yeah, I'm
You
jealous.
put the jukebox in the Legion in the house on a Friday night in Atlanta. Boy, you don't know what?
I mean, it'll be a hell of a draw. I'm not gonna lie about that. It'll be a
I
hell of a
just
draw.
Telling you right now. I
I
called
don't
it.
I don't
32K,
want
I called
everybody
it.
to view this and say we negative Nancy's. I do wish them much success. I think there are a lot of suggestions. There are a lot of people they could get in the room that could take this to the next level. I
Since
just hope they
people are
listen.
gonna, I'm sorry, I don't want to cut you off, but since people are gonna view this and say we are the haters of the haters, I'm telling you,
No, they not.
I can,
They
I can
fucking
be
know.
I've been saying
positive,
this on Instagram,
bro.
Facebook. I've been
I
What I'm
can
saying,
be,
what
I
what
can
are
get on
what
this
are they
joint and be
disputing?
super positive, and somebody was like, "Yo, you hate fam." I was like, "What are you
Yeah,
talking
I
about?"
one
saw
of the
that one.
comments
Yeah.
was you hate anything that ain't the swag. I was thinking to myself, he went to a college that won't the swag.
I was like, "Yo," I saw that. I was like, "Bro, you know I went to the Legion. I marched with the
Hey,
Legion, right?"
it's not a swag school.
When the
Like
MEAC was MEACing, when the
I mean,
MEAC was MEACing, he
you can
was
say what
at
you want
Norfolk.
about what I said about the performances or the auxiliary. That's the only thing that's debatable. The fact that we didn't get score sheets, not up for debate. The fact that we didn't submit videos, not up for debate. The fact that there are people judging me that don't have the qualifications, not up for debate.
That is the debate. You saying shit, y'all ain't submit videos, you lost me right there. Well, I ain't gonna lie. And then I'm over here thinking about the possibilities of these battle bands that could be happening.
His ego, his wheels
That's gonna
turning.
be
He's trying to
nuts.
set us
You don't understand, boy. That's gonna be nuts. The same
I don't
thing.
know how many people watched the Band of the Year event, but they said they got 2 million TV views for the game. I don't know how many people watched the Band
that
of the
game
Year.
is a movement. I'm telling y'all,
Two
everybody should go.
million views. So
You should go at least once. It was a vibe in there. And I sat right next. It was the year Jackson was played South Carolina State, and we sat right next to Jackson. And I was there with some people who my best friend, she Legion, but she got her master's at South Carolina State. And her husband is a drum major from South Carolina State. It was people from Morgan that had marched when we did behind us. It was people from Virginia State sitting near us. We had a blast. Okay. Everybody
And
should go once.
that's another thing too, Con. When you think about the gist of this thing, no offense to other bands, but like there should be something catered to the band that's eligible to go to the celebration. You know what I'm saying? Like the two bands doesn't participate in that night. Yet. Are y'all doing a battle of bands the next day at the game, like a top field show or something? Something needs to be done for the bands
Yeah,
that's
they make
because
them
they
eligible.
compete
still
in
have
that
to
yard,
prepare
man.
for
It's a
that. It's
yard
still
in the front. They let the two bands play in. It's a yard.
You know, you talking about that battle of bands the day before?
The day of the game.
I mean, the day of the game. I heard Jackson didn't do that this year.
No,
Yeah,
it was
it
Carolina
was
versus Virginia State.
Virginia State. Yeah, I
When
don't know. I don't know why Jackson skipped it. I
It
was
was
wondering.
it's in that yard though. It's like a yard,
to me, you can't piss Jackson
But
off.
that's
I
not.
don't give a
But
fuck.
to me,
You just
that's
say
not.
that's kind of what it is. You can't piss Jackson State off. And if people don't want to talk about, we have our talks. Jackson top dog in this bad shit right now. You know what I'm saying? Just be honest. But for the
they were
crazy shit,
standing and they said it with their chest. Do you hear me? Them comments was crazy. I said, who is in charge of this page? Okay.
man, y'all can't piss Jackson State off. You can't piss none of the top bands off. A&M, bro, didn't submit a video. Come on, man. A&M, I always crack a joke about A&M. You say what you want about A&M. I ain't never seen a small Alabama A&M video. Never. Never seen that one. They ain't sound good. Never ain't seen one where the uniform look bad. Never seen a small. They are one of the premier bands, and they didn't submit a video.
You said Alabama. You said you ain't never seen a year when they sound bad.
Small.
No,
It's
I didn't. I mean,
Well, Alabama
it's
A&M.
me. That's me saying. And you can say, "Hey, all right, Luke for the year. What's they
I,
small?"
look, I'm not. I'm not gonna be that guy. But I will say, the year that we battled them in the gym, I liked them on the field better than what I heard
What
them
year
in
that
the gym.
was?
15, 16, somewhere around there.
Hold
I
up,
was
y'all
in college.
battle who and what, Jim? Go ahead, say it again.
I think you're talking about
A&M,
Prairie
Alabama
View.
A&M.
Okay.
Let me
Norfolk?
say this.
No, PB.
He talking about PV.
All right,
Yeah,
all right, all right.
not Norfolk.
But
Yeah,
But
yeah,
the
I
point
want
I'm making
everybody to
is
say, you know that there are at least four bands, four that we know of that did not participate. Go when you get a chance and look and see where they were in those rankings and see where they ended up in that last.
Exactly. Southern started out the first, thing was number one, and then they dropped the what?
But I'm saying specifically Norfolk
I don't know.
State,
I don't know.
A&M, Jackson, and Bethune. We know they didn't participate. They didn't
you
submit
got me.
video.
I can call right next to the Texas find out they said to participate. I could. That's nothing. But The point I'm making is you can't be pissing these bands off the fact they don't want to participate because now, let's say if next year these same four that we know don't participate, who that leaves room for? I need to be seeing some of these other schools that sitting their stuff in this top five by default because it ain't that many. There's a lot of bands, but
You should not be adjudicating nobody who ain't sending videos.
agree. Agree.
But they don't want to have to say they chose not to participate.
And that's the crazy part. We've got a list of people. We got people on the list who don't want to do it. We got people on the list who can't make it. You got people on the list who don't meet what you need. Why even? Just tell them no, or just don't do it. Get the schools that want to do it.
That's crazy.
Those 4 schools took up spots for people who submitted videos. And that's just the 4 we know about. I heard through some reliable sources that it's 2 other bands that ain't sent no videos.
I mean, you've got the uniform situation. If they told you at the beginning of the year that they didn't have uniforms and they wouldn't give, just don't rank them. Don't pay
But
them
they
no. Just
did.
don't do
But you
it.
did. But you
Right.
did. So you
Just don't
could
do
just you committed to it at that point. At least you should have.
And I, I don't want to be that guy.
Because that's what I told you, Luke, was that if they knew that they didn't have it, why would we? Why even continue on with it?
Why keep ranking them?
Right.
So I don't want to be that guy real quick, but I guess I'm gonna be that guy for a second. And
You say, hold on. He say, smash somebody. What I'm capping about? What I say about A&M, I think, and that's what people don't listen to what you say. You're not good at. I said, name me a year. A&M is a premier value for what you talking about. They look good. Their numbers. We didn't see a big. I don't do that stuff, man. Y'all just seen some bands huge one year and small as hell the next year. It's grabbing another band. I don't give a fuck about boring you say it is. How you'll do what about you classy. It is what it is. The band stake is with a good full product every year. Look good. Have uniforms. It's a thriving program. You know what I'm saying? Maybe not sound the best or whatever this sound is subjective. But are they a thriving program? Yes. That's what I'm saying.
I can agree to that. But
Yeah.
I want to quickly jump into this because and I know we done went like 50 different ways on this, but when we start talking about the judging of all these bands, and I'm looking at Div 1 and them Div 2 real quick and how they're comprised, I'm also curious because do all of these schools even have functioning band programs?
I don't know.
Like, I think that's kind of weird to me too. Because I think in the grand scheme of things, if you're saying that everybody is involved, and you're also saying that everybody should be submitting videos, but then you're also finding out that most people didn't submit videos.
Well, I won't say most people.
Well, a lot of people didn't submit videos. Then who the hell submitting videos?
I don't know. I can't speak. I can't speak.
It's for division. All those bands you named that did submit videos, all of them are Division 1 bands. That's a lot.
Yep.
They're
Yeah,
all
and
Division
I'm
1 bands.
saying that. Look at where they was ranked at.
And I'm pretty sure there are a couple more out of Division 1 that did not submit.
I know at least 2 that said
let's
they
just say for the sake of argument. Let's just say for the sake of argument. We already know 4 that's in Division 1 band. Let's just say there were 3 other bands that didn't submit.
I know 2.
That's 2. All right. So let's add 3 more to that. So what? 6 9? So let's just say 9 bands didn't submit out of Div 1 alone. I'm looking at this thing here. And Div 1 got MEAC, SWAC, and Colonial Athletic Association. So that means that only people who would probably be left is Coppin State, Dale State.
In Division 1?
Yeah.
Coppin is a Division 1 belt? I'm not being funny.
They're in the MEAC. They do it by conference. They don't do it by
Exactly.
band size. They do it by conference.
Dell State actually has the most athletic funding. Never mind, that don't matter.
But yeah, they have the most athletic funding.
You see how crazy that is, though?
They don't do it by conference.
Right.
They do it by conference. They don't do it by band.
They don't do it by band size.
Right.
So when we start breaking this stuff down, if 9 bands didn't submit, if all let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If 9 bands in the SWAC just going straight down the list didn't submit, the only band that's left is Texas Southern, which means that anything left is MEAC and the Colonial Athletic Association, which is A&T and Hampton.
Right.
And that's of the bands they have ranked. Yeah, that's of the bands they have ranked.
Say it again.
And is that of the bands they have on their list?
And considering those 3 conferences, whatever Hampton and them are in, the MEAC and the SWAC, he's saying it's 9. I say let's go with 6. If 6 bands chose not to participate and you still rank them, that's crazy work.
It still is.
I don't think it should be divided up Div 1, Div 2, in my opinion.
I don't disagree with it.
I just think it should be based on size or something.
Yeah, I was about to say, why can't we have our own Division 1, Division 2? Because right now it's based off of athletics and school size. You could have a Division 2 band. You could have a band in Division 2 that possibly could be as good as a Division 1 school band, but they're not allowed that because of the school size.
Like Miles, for example, I think Miles should be. Right. They should be able to compete with them
because of sports. I think Miles. I think Langston. I think
right.
Yeah, like all of them people should be in Div 1, in my opinion. Like that should.
I think they should find a size. It should be size.
Your size should depend on which division you fall in.
Because
high school battle of the bands, that's what they do anyway.
Because I think because it's attached to the bowl game, they have to do it the athletic way, which is your school size or your sports.
Division 1, Division 2. Gotcha. But I think all these questions that we have should have been stated or should be in a
should be clear. We should we should be able to go to that Band of the Year website and say, I got a question about this, and the answer should be there.
Yeah, I did a video saying that, I don't like how, with bands, we have to fall into the sports category when most of these sports teams at schools don't even support the band like that. So it's like, why should we have to have Division 2, Division 1 like they do, and they don't even support the band? We should have our own, but whatever,
Right. But I think that kind of goes back to what we were saying as far as the fact that they should be based on size. I think that kind of falls in that category because I definitely believe in that. It's a big old mess. I'm not gonna lie, but I do agree with you, Portia, that I do want to see it get better. And I truly believe that with time and hopefully people are watching this because obviously people are gonna watch it, send it out, and all that kind of stuff, and have their own think pieces about whatever we said because I know that's gonna happen too. I look forward to it. I need people to understand. Hey, I don't really care what you say. That doesn't bother me. But one thing I'm not gonna ever do, and people should know this about me, I'm not gonna go with the ad hominem attacks talking about your mama, your sister, your cousin, all that. I don't got time for that. If we want to talk about band, all that kind of stuff, and have that conversation, and music education and college and all that, we can have that conversation. We can back it up by opinions, or we can back it up by facts. That doesn't bother me. But I am not gonna get into all that other extra stuff. I need for y'all to understand. At the end of the day, we are supposed to be presenting ourselves as professionals in some type of capacity. And I'm gonna always present myself. Now, can I get a little loose? Yeah. Portia knows me behind closed doors. Justin has seen me in some other lights. So can I get that way? Absolutely. But when I put myself out in the public forum, I'm going to always try to present myself to be presentable and respectable at the end of the day. So we can always have that conversation, but it doesn't bother me whatever you all are saying towards my opinion. And a lot of you all in the comment section, if I respond to you, I will always respond to you respectfully. I'll ask a question. I'll be like, hey, so what you mean by that? I'll be like, all right, fair, I agree, whatever. But I think that's what we should do as Black folks anyway. As professional Black folks, is we're saying we're representing a culture of universities of higher learning. That's how we should be presenting ourselves anyway. At the end of the day.
But Luke, I said this the other day to somebody. I was just like, for some reason, it just seemed like, because I know you call it chocolate folk, but our folk, it just seemed like when it comes to judging or picking something that we like, it always has to be like that's it. You can't say, you could ask a friend of yours and you don't rank him top 3, all of a sudden it's beef. All of a sudden you don't like me no more. You don't love me. Like, nah, I just didn't rank you top 3. It ain't you, but it just seems like I don't know what it is. I don't know what it could be music, it could be anything.
But see, here's the thing. One, as Black folk, as chocolate folk, we hold stuff real personal. where we come from, our universities that we went to. Some people didn't march, but then be trying to, but whatever. But my point is that all of these things we hold really, really, really close to our heart. And it's almost very similar to when you look at Chime Time or what's my man Keith Lee, when he goes into a
Right.
city and he judges the food, and now the city want to jump on him, right? But you're just giving your thought process and your opinion. People hold that very close to their heart. My thing is this. In anything that you do, there's going to be biases, right? Like everybody's gonna, even in DCI, I am a Carolina Crown fan. I am. But I'm smart enough to admit that if they don't sound good, or if this just wasn't a good year, it just wasn't a good year. I haven't drunk that much Kool-Aid in my and put that much Kool-Aid in my body to feel like this is always going to be above someone else. I'm just never going to do that. But people are always going to have biases. But this is why I also believe that transparency when you're having these adjudications is necessary. Because I can be super biased about an organization, but if the transparency of how something is being judged is there, and all of that is there, and it's out in the open, then all I can say is, all right, well, that's what it is.
See, I think the problem is, bro, everybody go off the first thing they see. Remember, like when ESPN was put out those lists of the top bands, or whoever it was, Anscape, or somebody was put out those lists. If you don't see like the Jacksons and Suttons number one, number two, people automatically want to throw the list away. You know what I'm saying? Now it could say a MEAC list, and you don't see Sutton list, Sutton and Jackson on there. Now it's still a problem. You know what I'm saying? But I think me, I like feedback from everybody. You know what I'm saying? I know how to have a favorite, but also not be biased at all. You know what I'm saying? I can also say, in my favorite, get their ass kicked. You know what I'm saying? They got their ass kicked today. But guess what? That don't stop me from giving somebody else props. And people just don't know how to do that. I like constructive criticism. At the end of the day, like, I don't care what condition you say you got, bitch. I started cursing. But anyway, I can call your favorite band director's band. I mean, your favorite band's band director. And have the same conversation I'm putting online and tell them the same thing. But can you do that? But a lot of people be fake. A lot of people say, ooh, that band sucked. But let that band pass by them, now they want a picture. Now they want to, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of fake stuff that go on within the space. I just say, take everything with a grain of salt because a lot of people don't even get real about this. But to the point, I like anything that's supporting our bands. ESPN will get a band $100,000. I like it. You know what I'm saying? I just think that some stuff need to change. Like we giving them a lot of grace. It's only the second year. We giving them ideas to go forward. But back to my point, you pissing a lot of the big dog bands off. You know what I'm saying? Like that was big for Jackson official page to post that. You know what I'm saying? I was like, wait, I had to see if it was like Photoshop. I said, no, it's the page. I said, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? So
I was screenshotting it.
like, you can't piss them. And I get it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, I don't get it because you pissing the band off. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if we keep pissing the bands off, and then what are we going to have eventually? So, I think something needs to change to get our programs or all our programs to buy into it. You know what I'm saying? But let's do this. Let's take what Jackson did. Anybody who watching from ESPN, let's take what Jackson did, which is huge. Y'all care how you want to put it. Let's put what Snipes said in here. This is why we need this for what Snipes said. Something got to change for what Jackson did. I hate to put it. But you better do 1 + 1 because 1 + 1 is 2. If you start getting 3 and 4, something wrong. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. Will, you got anything else, man?
Nothing else, man. Again, another season. Man, Luke, man, I told you, man, when I first came to this show, man, I felt it was nice to hear folks, on one accord, and it was a comfortable space and everything. I tell you that every season, man. I'm so glad you made this page. This is like one of those pages where I just feel comfortable coming in and hearing y'all talk and everything. I'm glad to see it grow. Again, with growing comes, the hate. But, again, another season, I'm glad to see what the page is doing. I really like it since day one, since I met y'all. I really like this. Smash, I'm going to be at Mardi Gras. I don't know what day I'm going to be down there, but I'm flying down there because I missed it last year. So I'm coming down there to Mardi Gras. I've been wanting to come down for a long time. So I will be down for that.
Man, hit me up if you need any tips. I can tell you where you need to be at, what you need to be. That's something that come judge that if you want to. I bet somebody gonna curse your ass out. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But anyway,
The police officer's gonna cut you out under that tunnel if you under there recording.
oh man, listen, boy, that's a like the city's still pissed off about that. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, man, I'm talking about. Listen, if I ain't never think I had a city behind me that day, shit, everybody in my was on smash. So I said, yeah, tell them, I got time for them. Oh, what
Hey,
did y'all? Anyway, yeah,
y'all better not mess with Justin, man. He's the king of the
yeah,
city
that's
right
cool.
now, bro. During that time, he the king of the city. So hey, y'all better watch and tread lightly. I'm just saying.
The mama, boy, you ever heard a black mama tell you off? Boy, I had all the mamas on my side. Don't mess with my baby. It was funny, but yeah, but hopefully that don't happen again this year because my girl gonna be epic this year, man. Like I know a lot of colleges coming down and it's high school bands. I'm gonna tell you this, if you're a college director, I'm gonna say this right now, and you're not bringing your band to Mardi Gras, or I'm gonna be nice and saying you're not pulling up the Mardi Gras. Crazy. I think you just don't want no kids in your band or something. But you, representative, needs to be on these New Orleans streets, man, because these out of town bands are coming out. And like the whole Memphis scene and Craig Mike Ever and these new everybody go crazy over high school bands. So y'all want some recruits, better bring y'all band to my ground. Or you better come physically with a private or something. Yeah.
So I know we shifting and we're not gonna stay on this long. I don't disagree with you at all. But I feel like I believe, I ain't gonna say I feel like, but I do believe that it becomes difficult to do that because a lot of those kids are like Southern or Jackson.
And that's where you're wrong. That's where you're wrong, Lou.
That's why I say I believe that. That's why I said I
Okay,
can.
let me tell you why you're wrong, bro. Because I'm
Go
starting to
ahead.
see, even in our band combine, so I think our band, I gotta get the day. I'm gonna send it to you, the band combine. You do a loose band report. It's kids starting to go to like schools like Kentucky State, like Justin. Justin, you'd have thought that he was a Southern through and through, but he cross they can take he's doing good. But he's seeing them at Mardi Gras for the first time. And not to brag on my city, but to brag on my city, you only need 2, 3 New Orleans kids in your band to have a that much change. You know what I'm saying? From aggression to passion. You can't teach passion. I'm sorry, you can't teach passion. But it can rub off on somebody, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's wrong. But at this. Saying Jackson too. Jackson don't even do Mardi Gras, but they have representatives down there, and they close. But people see it, so I think that PJ doing too. Y'all better bring these bands to Mardi Gras, or y'all better
Is Union going to Mardi Gras this year?
think they not. And that's different. I know they got
I ain't
Breeze.
never. I
Breeze
don't
have
remember a
$100
Virginia
like
band being down there since Norfolk went.
exactly.
Norfolk went right.
And Breeze have $100 round trip flight from New Orleans to Richmond, and that's the flight I be catching every time I come up there. I fly to Richmond and drive to Norfolk. Y'all better understand that you think your band have a chance, so y'all better find out a way because they come down here and get one W, it's over with. I know how people PJ from the city, so that swag you ain't gonna have 200 people in the band. They should watch.
Hold up. So don't nobody want to go to Grambling?
Grab no,
Hey
come
man,
down. No, but once again,
are you
oh,
joking?
no. Once again,
No, we're joking.
it's
We're
a joke.
joking.
It's a joke. I'm about to take
We
you a joke,
joking.
but
We
you still
joking.
get New Orleans kids to go to Granite Band because Granite got that bag. Sometimes some kids don't care about the winning or losing. What people say. Some kids actually care about getting an
Play.
education and going to school free. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So yeah,
Yeah.
Granite get some of those kids.
Well, Portia, it's been a long night. You good?
I feel lighter because them
I
people's
know
getting on
you
my
do.
nerves.
I know you do. It's been on your chest for a very
Oh
long
my
time.
God. Yeah, I just want people to not lie or
Okay.
pass off your opinion as fact. I also want, and I'm gonna say now, as a challenge for next year, to my color guard, to my auxiliary units. Let's push the envelope. Let's try to do different stuff. Let's elevate next year, especially by the end of the year. Let's work on that.
Question: have you been paying attention to Texas Southern flag team uniforms?
Texas, they're good. I like that
Yeah,
squad.
They uniform off the chain. They pushing him.
I don't
They look.
know if I remember the uniform, but they have a good squad.
They got some uniform. It look almost like a dance team uniform, but it's fire. It's like it's fitting to the flag team. Go check them out when you get a chance. Yeah.
Yeah, they have a good squad.
All right. Well, with that being said, we're about to shut this thing down, man. This has been we ain't had a 2-hour long show in a very, very long time, man. I want to say, man, I appreciate everybody for coming in, man. If you were able to give a super chat, appreciate you. If you didn't do it, you are more than welcome to do that on the playback, man. Also, don't forget you can stop by our store, get anything that you want. Remember, you can get 30% off your purchase. Just type in HBCU band. Don't forget, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Remember, I don't care. Go ahead and share this stuff out, man. Y'all can talk about it in the uncut group, in the uncut group, and whatever group that y'all are in. I don't care. We can talk about it, but it's all good. Remember, man, I appreciate y'all. We love y'all, man, and we will see you all in 2 weeks.
Right here, man.